So again, this morning, and sorry if I look the way I do, I just finished my workout, but I wanted to share something that was, I believe, extremely relevant to our faith, our Christian faith, as far as one of the lessons that I learned during my workout or little struggles I have when I'm working out, which is very much applicable to the Christian life. And what that was as I was performing a set of power cleans, and you can look that up on Google and YouTube. But basically, you bring the bar up from like a deadlift position, or depending the type of clean that you're doing, and you kind of gently snap the wrist, and you kind of catch it as you drive that bar up. You catch it in kind of like a front squat position. Depending on the type of clean, you can go into a squat position, or you can do a standing position. Again, before I digress any further, as I was doing that, every now and then there's something that fearful happens within me, or something during that movement that, and I'm sorry if you hear my watch, but something happens sometimes that makes you, like with any Olympic lifts or any lifts, sometimes when you're weak, you're struggling, you're a little apprehensive as far as completing the movement because you're trying to avoid injury. So as I was getting a little nervous and hesitating and driving that bar up, I felt my wrist starting to stiffen up, which is not good. You don't want to have a stiff wrist, or do you want to snap it like the word implies? If anything, you kind of just want to drive it up and catch it. So your wrists have to be flexible but strong, and you land in position and you brace for that position, but kind of like absorbing part of that impact with the little bounce. That's why you go into a squat position. How does that relate to the Christian life? So it reminded me of trusting God. Many times when we trust God, He gives us a desire or a promise, and He confirms that. You may have your own ways how God has confirmed things in your own life, but He confirms it. So when He confirms it, and sometimes He gives you the faith, or He calls you to do something and you know it's God, now He requires an action, but He requires a trust. You have to have confidence in God's trust. You have to have confidence in what He said, and more importantly, He gives you that grace if you walk towards faith in the action that He requires you to do. So for me, as far as the clean is concerned, I had to once again tell myself, you've practiced this movement before, you've been trained, it's been confirmed, and the many times that you performed it, you know how to do this. You just got to trust and be diligent. So when we're walking out our faith, God calls us to do something, we're to trust in Him, in the person of God, but be diligent. Jesus said, be innocent as doves, but shrewd as vipers. There's a part of us that requires us to take up and be good stewards of what He's already implanted in us, what He's already imparted to us, what He's put in us. He trusts us to be good stewards of that and to act in faith. Jesus called Peter towards Him on the waters. Peter walked, but when he started fearing, he started sinking. When I start fearing in the clean, I set myself up for injury because my wrist now becomes rigid. It wants to protect. It gets hard. And then when it does that, I can literally snap some muscles or tendons in my wrist when I'm driving that bar up. So it taught me trust. Trust in what God has already put into me, what the discipleship, the stewardship, the gifting, the impartation, the lecture, the word. Trust in that, and trust in the ability of God. But be diligent in walking through that action. Like me, when I changed that focus, that mindset, I was able to drive that bar up and catch it without any complications, without stiffening up my wrist. I caught it, and I was able to complete that set and 2 others after that. Trust, act in faith, and trust in the gifting and the impartation that He's already given you. so you don't have strict risks in your walk with God, if that makes sense. Hopefully you're able to get the trust and acting in faith. Be diligent, be good stewards. Those two go hand in hand. Ultimately, it's the grace of God that imparts these for us, to us, and to glorify his good name. Hopefully you're able to make sense of this. God bless you. We love you guys.